Thanks for tuning in. 30-minute stretching class, and this one's going to be specifically focused on spine. So think lots of twists, lots of side body opening, back bends, all the good stuff. So I'm Kaycie. If you haven't met me, thanks for joining, and let's jump right on in. Coming down onto our backs, nice reclined position. I really enjoy starting off reclined. An opportunity to kind of ground, especially if this is the end of your day. Just kind of let yourself fall into your bodies. Let all the heaviness start to just drop down into the ground. And let your legs just move into whatever shape they intuitively feel guided to go into. Maybe you want to extend the legs out. Maybe bent knees, feet on the floor. You can let the knees drop in on one another with the feet wide. This one I highly recommend, especially as it creates more space into the lower back. So if you feel a lot of tension in the lower spine today, maybe take this variation. If you want a little hip opening and it doesn't cause any stress or tension in the body, soles of the feet together, knees open wide into a butterfly position can also be really nice. So find your space. And as you drop in, knowing that it is a shorter class today, we're not going to take too much time here, just allowing ourselves to feel a little more connected to stillness before we incorporate more movement into our gaze. Eyes close, all the muscles start to relax and surrender to this moment. And go ahead and release your breath out. Slow, intentional breath in, expand open, stretch the lungs, hold at the top. Just open your mouth, sigh out everything. If you would like to take a couple more of those on your own, feel free to drop into your breath. Otherwise, when ready, slowly start to find a more rhythmic, calm, and soothing breath here. Relaxing through your eyebrows, your jaw. Feel the shoulders drape so you really accentuate the breathing. Feel the rise and fall. And the breath is going to be really important for any practice, but especially as we're trying to work more flexibility and opening into the muscles within the body. We want to make sure that we're bringing oxygen into the muscles and not just clenching and tightening up or holding the breath. So establish that breath here, really full from the belly to the ribs and into the chest. And I'll talk about this 3-part breathing a lot in my classes, really finding that full capacity, releasing it all the way out. All right, begin to find little movements in your fingers and in your toes. Whatever variation your legs are in, maybe finding movement in your ankles if they're free. Maybe start to stretch the legs out long if they're bent into a position that feels uncomfortable or just needs a little shifting. And then we're going to stretch the arms over the head. As the hands stretch back and the feet stretch forward and we're in this nice long position, we're going to take ourselves into a banana shape. So starting with the upper body, keep yourself extended in both directions. Inhale, lifting up through the head, the shoulders, the arms, and just rock them over to the right side and rest them back down. Now, it might feel strenuous on the shoulders to have them fully extended. And if that's the case, just bend the elbows at any point and just kind of take some of that tension out, creating more space for the shoulders to melt open. You can hold on to opposite fingertips, wrists, forearms, or maybe even hold on to opposite elbows. But try to get both shoulder blades firmly rooted down onto the ground. From here, we're going to match that shape, coming into that full banana shape on this same side. So start to walk your legs over to the right side. As the legs walk to the right, keeping both sides of the glutes down on the ground. If you want to create a little lock or bind with the legs, maybe hooking your left ankle over that right foot. And just feel a heaviness through the back body, the glutes, the shoulders, the arms, the legs. And then starting to feel your torso, gently feeling the stretch. Nice, full, expansive breath into that left side body. Close your eyes and really feel the compartments of your breath filling up and slowly melting all the way back out. And imagine your breath is traveling down the length of that left side, helping to create more space between the ribs, the space between the ribs and the hip. Everything starts to expand out, melting into more of an elongated position. 5 more slow breaths in and out of the nose. And I talk about it often, but make sure you're able to take these deep breaths, that you're not forcing. If you are at any point, just come out of the stretch a little bit. Find the breath again. One more nice, intentional breath. Slowly start to bring the upper body back to center, and then take the lower body back to center. Let your arms drop down to your sides, bend the knees, and feel free to just rock the knees side to side. Loosen up. Feel the shoulders. Alrighty, we're gonna go into that other side. Begin to stretch the arms back overhead. Stretch the legs long in front of you. Keep that length. Inhale, lifting up through the head, arms and shoulders, rock them to the left side, and once again, just relax them down. Make shoulder blades rooting into the floor here. Maybe hands stay separated or connect fingers, maybe bend the elbows, walk the hands down the arms to forearms or elbows. Any variation is just fine. And then from there, legs walk over to the left side. Maybe hook ankles, settling in through the glutes, both sides melting into the ground. So really focus on that melting sensation, not only through the glutes, but through the shoulders, through the arms, the legs. And lastly, letting that stretch melt open into that right side body. Close the eyes, slow the breath down, and visualize where the breath is going. As the breath goes down that right side, feel the space between the ribs and the hip. Let it all surrender open. Breathing as slowly and as intentionally as possible. Three more connected breaths. Now, wherever you are, begin to slowly work your upper body back through to center, releasing the arms. They can come to the sides immediately if you'd like. Walk the legs to center. Bend the knees, walk the feet in. Little windshield wipers side to side. And then let's draw the knees to the chest. Use your hands to pull them in, maybe hands around the knees, shins, or thighs. Maybe little left and right motions. Okay, I'm gonna spin around on the mat just so you can get a better view for this next stretch. So stay as you are. Set the feet back down to the ground with the knees bent. And begin to open the arms out to a T, out from your shoulders. And with the knees bent, separate the feet the width of the mat and let the knees gently rock over to the right side. So if you haven't noticed already with my classes, this is a staple stretch for me. This one is so good. You're getting internal rotation of the hip, you're getting external rotation of the hip, you're getting a nice opening into that lower back, all the way into your side. It just feels really good. Okay, so if you want a little bit more, just place your right foot on top of that left thigh and use it as a gentle assist, guiding it into whatever depth feels appropriate for you. Just give yourself a few more breaths. We're not rushing the stretches. We're allowing ourselves to just be in them, taking deep breaths and feeling the sensations of the stretch, even if it is uncomfortable. Just make sure you can breathe. You're not straining, you're not forcing, you're not retaining the breath. Let it move smoothly. Now, if your foot is on top, let's all just place the foot back down to the ground. Okay, and we're gonna keep our legs as they are, kind of tilted to that right side. And we're gonna move into a stretch that's really gonna open up into that lower left quadrant of the back and lower left side body, which is gonna feel hopefully amazing. So take the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to start to stretch that top hand all the way over towards the right hand until it touches down to the floor. Now notice you'll roll up onto your right shoulder. I want you to imagine that you're almost trying to walk those left fingertips away. So you're trying to roll your chest down towards the ground. Now as the chest rolls down, it doesn't have to get anywhere close to touching, but just feeling that general direction of how you're moving. Your fingertips can walk directly away from you out to the side, or maybe you can walk them slightly overhead. Really, it's up to you to kind of play with the angle, see what feels right. Sometimes it can even feel nice to lift the left toes and extend out through the left leg, maybe reach the toes back even more. Another breath. And then if you adjusted the left foot, let's bring it in a little bit. Walk your left fingertips back in until you can roll your shoulders back to the ground, arms out to the sides, and just swivel your knees back to center, little windshield wipers. Your body is probably craving that other side right now. I know mine is. And we're gonna take it. So just a moment here, just recalibrating. Keep the arms out to the sides, feet nice and wide, and let your knees drop to the left side this time. So this time, We're not going to have the best camera angle, but we just did it on the other side. It's the exact same thing. You could stay right here. If this is already enough of an opening for you, stay. I don't want you to ever feel strained in whatever position or stretch you're in. But if you do want a little bit more and your body's saying, yeah, let's go, you could always take the left foot, place it on top of the right thigh, and let it melt in. And you get to decide how much it drops in. Maybe you apply just a little bit of that weight. Maybe you're able to just let the entire foot fall heavy and just surrender. The breath is smooth, flowing. And just let yourself flow with it, nice and easy. Just a few breaths here. Guide your breath down into that lower back, into that right side, into the hips, wherever you're needing a little extra attention and love. All right. If the foot is on top, go ahead and rest it back down now. Right hand reaches up towards the ceiling, and then rock up onto that left shoulder as you reach the right fingertips away and all the way down to the ground on that left side. Okay, I am rolled away from you, but you know what we're doing here. So start to walk those right fingertips away as you roll the chest down towards the ground. Maybe walk the fingers back, play with the angles, see what you like. You should feel that nice opening. Now, same thing as the other side. If you want to just stay. If you want to play with that right foot as well, you can lift the toes, reach them back, extend them out. Play with it as you will. Notice how the different shapes create different sensations. Maybe there's sensations you really like. Maybe you can kind of ease into those sticky spots. 2 more breaths. If you adjusted your right foot, go ahead and slide it back in. Right hand walks back in until you slowly roll the shoulders to the ground, right arm out to the side, and then lift your knees back up to center. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. Rock the knees. Now, maybe draw the knees to the chest, hands wrap around the legs again. Pull them in nice and tight, little rocks here. I like to kind of scoop my tail under, getting my lower back kind of really grounded down. Getting that nice kind of rounding into that lower back. And then we're gonna roll off to either side, come into a fetal position here, just briefly. And then use your top hand to press and come all the way upright into a nice seated position. Cross your legs here. Go ahead and turn to a side. And as you come into this cross-legged seat, inhale, reach your arms up nice and tall. And just start to bend your elbows, pull them back, lift your chest open. Maybe tilt the gaze up, heavy through the elbows, and then slowly drop the arms to your sides, re-neutralizing the spine. Hands rest down onto the lap. We're going to go through a little bit of neck stretching here. So with the spine tall, feel the chin drop down towards the chest. Rolling right ear over towards the right shoulder. Maybe stretch your left fingertips out to the left side and down, creating more elongation through the side of the neck. If you want even more, right hand can come on top of the head, resting at the temple, and just feel your hands gently pulling away from each other. Hands to the lap, chin rolls down to the chest. And then slowly roll your head over to that left side. Same options, maybe the right fingertips reach out to the right and down. Maybe left hand reaches up and over, resting to the temple, and gently separating hands away from one another. Hands to the lap, chin rolls down to the chest. Now cup your hands over the knees, seated cat-cows, just a way to kind of open up into the spine. Take a deep breath in, slightly lift up through the chest here. And then exhale, round your back, chin to your chest, curl your spine in, tuck your tail under, lean into it, keep holding on to the knees. Inhale, scoop the heart forward and up. Fully extend the spine, sit bones start to drop back. And then exhale, rounding, curling in. Inhale, expand and open. And just go ahead and move on your own. Give yourself a few rounds here. Incorporate whatever movements you'd like. You can sway side to side. You can create little circular motions through the hips, spine, through the head. One more breath. Spine lifts up nice and tall. Reach the arms over your head. Deep breath in. And twist to the right side. Left hand to your right knee, right fingertips to the ground. Long spine, inhale. And exhale, rotating open to the right side. Gaze back over the right shoulder. Keep lifting, inhale. And keep rotating on the exhale. The lower back is not going to have too much rotation here. So really emphasizing the lift of that lower back and maintaining that. Rotating more through the ribs and through the chest and gazing back. Continue to hold on to the knee, but your back fingertips are now going to stretch up towards the ceiling. Breath in, lift a little taller. And exhale, moving into a side body stretch, reaching overhead to that left side. Arm stretches overhead. Keep the chest opening towards the ceiling, so we're not just rounding and curling over, we're opening and expanding out. One more breath. And then inhale, you're gonna reach that hand back up. Now take that top hand and set it back down to the ground behind you. Now this time, rather than just planting the fingertips, plant the palm and kind of let your weight sink back into the palm. Extend your left leg out, slightly out to the side, so it's off the mat. Then the hand that's at the knee, stretching it up towards the ceiling as you begin to open up your chest, lift your focal point up. Option to stay right here, just lifting the heart, or press your legs into the ground, pressing into that right knee as well, and begin to lift your hips off the ground, opening up the spine, opening up the chest. One more breath. And then slowly come all the way back down. And bring yourself back to center, extend both legs, feet plant to the ground, windshield wiper knees side to side. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing, other side, sitting yourself back up, crossing the legs. Arms reach up, deep breath in. Lift your spine taller. Exhale, twist to the left side. Right hand connects down onto that knee. Left fingertips to the ground right behind you. Now from here, lift your spine, deep breath in. And then exhale, twisting open to that left side. Gazing back over the left shoulder. Now same thing, continue to lift up on each breath in, rotate on each breath out. Let that rotation happen through ribs, chest, and focal point. One more here. Now continue to hold on to the knee with your right hand. Left fingertips reach up, breath in, long lifted spine. Exhale, lean off to that right side. Keep holding on to the knee as you reach and stretch over to the right. Keep the chest rolling open towards the ceiling, letting that full stretch move down the side body. Now inhale as you come up. Take that top hand and now bring it down to the ground behind you. Plant the palm fully, letting your weight sink back into the hand. And this time we're going to kick the right leg out slightly off the mat to the side. And then stretch the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Open up the chest, lift the focal point, stay here, or begin to lift the hips off the ground, opening up the spine, chest. And then slowly coming all the way back down. Same thing, drop back onto the hands, bend the knees, feet on the floor, and just little windshield wipers here. Let's sweep the legs around to the side and come down onto our bellies. So as we come onto our bellies, we're going to go through some spinal opening. I like to start in Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel to each other, palms down, fingers spread wide. Now, nice active legs here. So quads engage, feel the tops of your feet pressing down into the ground and trying to angle your tailbone down towards the heels. So you feel a nice grounding through the front of the pelvis, those pelvic points. Pull the ground towards you with your hands and then feel your rib cage pull forward. Feel your heart drawing up, shoulders pulling down away from the ears. Couple deep breaths. Now slowly begin to open up the elbows, and as you open up the elbows, pull the hands back underneath your shoulders. And then from the shoulders, you're going to walk them off the mat out to the sides, nice and wide. And then start to come up onto your fingertips, creating little tents with your hands. So you're going to kind of open up the elbows wide here, okay, kind of fanning them up. And we're going to go through a little bit of an exercise here. If at any point this does not feel comfortable for you, you can always just press to your hands equally and just lift your chest all at once. Okay, so I'm going to turn towards you so it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing here. So with the hands to the sides, once again, if you want to just lift straight up and then straight back down, you're welcome to take that variation. Otherwise, we're going to work really slowly, lifting just little bits at a time, lowering little bits at a time, starting with one side, then through the other, and then coming down like a wave. So we'll just start together here. So little press through the right hand. Inhale, peel your right shoulder up, and then the left. And then exhale, lower the right shoulder down, and then the left. Now we're going to start with the left side, lifting the same amount. Inhale, lifting just a little bit left side, and then the right, meeting at center. And then exhale, dip through the left side, and then through the right. Once again, if moving like this does not feel good on the shoulders or the spine, you can always just press your hands equally, lifting up here, or plant the palms underneath the shoulders and lift here. Perfectly fine. These are just options and variations to play with. Okay, otherwise we're going to do 2 more rounds, maybe coming up a little higher. Press through the right hand, inhale, lift the right side, and then the left, and exhale, right side down, followed by the left. Same amount, inhale, left side leads, then the right, exhale, left drops, right follows. Last one, inhale, lift right, and then left, and then exhale, dip down through the right, and then the left. Other side to complete it. Inhale left, and then right, and then exhale down through the left, down through the right. Plant both hands underneath shoulders or along the rib cage. Inhale, just come up into a cobra pose. Feel it out here. Open up the ribs, open up the chest. One more deep breath. And then child's pose. Pull the hips back, melt the hips towards the heels. I like to keep the knees together here, letting the spine round over the thighs, especially with all the spinal work, but you do what you would like. Let the head drop. Slowly come back up into tabletop position. Sweep the legs around to a comfortable seat. All right, so for the stretching, if you want to take a Shavasana to make it complete for your yoga experience, I highly recommend just taking the time to recline down onto your backs. Any last little movements you might like. I would recommend a bridge position if you have time on your back, just lifting the hips, or any other little spinal positions, deep twists. Listen to your body always, I highly recommend. Otherwise, we're going to close out the practice together here. Close the eyes, bring your hands together at your heart center. And just thank your bodies for what they were able to do for you today. Hopefully your spines are feeling a little bit better. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Thank you so much. So once again, feel free, take a Shavasana, listen to your bodies. I always try to recommend taking that rest, but 30 minutes goes by like that, especially when you're focusing on opening up areas within the body. There's so many more exercises I could have you do, so don't worry, there will be more videos coming soon. Please like, comment, share with a friend, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you so much again. I will see you all soon.